What's happening?
Hello,
everyone.
We're there.
It's Friday again.
That was sudden.
What's
We
right?
didn't,
Yeah.
we didn't do the fade thing or anything.
What fade thing?
You would just run straight into it.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
There we go. Hello, welcome back in, BJ.
Thanks.
And hey, guys, this is what episode 115. Jeez, it just marches on, doesn't it?
It does.
Time just marches on.
So yeah, I'm a bit bleary-eyed because I've been taking a week leave, which has been good for me.
Has it?
Yeah.
You're looking
so.
refreshed.
Am I?
Yeah, looking very fresh.
Feel refreshed, just like a bit of citrus.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Got some really cool stuff coming in store this week.
Yep.
Yeah, there's lots happening in the RC world, in the kit world. A big shout out to the guys racing up at the Queensland on-road state titles this weekend.
That's right. It's practice today, isn't it?
Practice today, yeah. We've got I'm not going to rattle off every name, but there's probably about 10 of the Hearns race team up there.
Yep.
And we've got our youngest would be Noah. I think Noah Jenkins up there.
Oh, you're going up there?
He's up there.
Wow.
Yep. Him and Matthew drove up Thursday night. They left at 3 a.m.
Well, that would have been a bit of a trek. What, all in one hit?
Yep. 3 a.m.
Wow.
18 hours, just sent it straight up the highway.
Oh, okay. If you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Hopefully the weather's nice and everything plays well. So good luck, guys.
Yep.
What else? Got some huge news about a raffle.
Huge news.
Huge news. I'm not gonna say any more right now.
Right.
But yeah, stick around for that.
Well, how about this? This is our regular segment. What's that?
Regular segment. Car of the week.
What do we need to know?
Make, model, color.
Yep.
Origin.
Origin.
I don't know.
As many details as possible.
Because I don't know. It seems quite iconic to me.
Well, it's sort of lucky it's a bit out of focus because it actually says something on the side.
Does it?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that because everyone's just going to expand their screens now and have a look at it.
Pinch up.
Yeah. That's it.
No, that's really cool. And I can see Marlon's been in here with rail stuff. There's rail stuff everywhere.
So we've got quite a bit of new stuff in.
Yep.
This was sort of seen before, but this is a different version.
I have never seen it.
Haven't you?
Never.
It's cool.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
It's a rocket.
And we will be talking also about the micro layout, the 009
Yes. Been busy with that,
layout.
haven't you?
Well,
With
that's
Marlon.
coming to an end. That's it. It's going to be the presentation.
Yes.
From here on,
Wow.
it's just going to be in store in the cabinet, chewing away.
It's been a bit of an adventure.
It has. It really has. All right. Well, I think without any further ado, I think we should get young Marlon on and get stuck into it.
All right. Good stuff.
Come on, Marlon.
Hello, Marlon.
Hey guys.
G'day.
Welcome in, Marlon.
You got a lot of new stuff to look at.
I do
So
actually.
it looks really interesting.
What have you got?
Oh, he's
I'm
got
just
this thing
reorganising
here.
it.
That's okay.
I'm just reorganizing everything because I thought I might knock it all over.
I
Knock
see
it
that
all
you were
over.
talking about the rocket.
It's a what?
It's a
That's a rocket.
so it's a Stephenson's rocket. Stevenson being the engineer that designed it.
Was that the first?
One of the very first steam
Right.
locomotives. So that was part of the Liverpool and Manchester Railroad. So that was like the first proper railroad in the UK in the early 1830s. I think like 1834. And this was the locomotive that won the Rainhill Trials. And that was basically a contest to see who could design the best locomotive for Britain's first railway. And it included such wonderful designs as a horse on a treadmill.
What?
Attached to wheels. It was called like a cycloped or something. It's crazy. It's really interesting history, the Rainhill Trials in England.
Rainhill Trials.
had
So it was
these,
animal powered.
Animal powered. There was an animal powered locomotive in the running with this thing.
Right.
And the little rocket turned out to be, the winning
Rocket.
design and quite successful in its time. But
Would have been embarrassing if it lost.
yeah.
I know he sort of gave it a really strong name, didn't he? He thought he was confident from the get-go calling it a rocket.
Do we want to have a closer look at it?
Yeah.
Let's go to the top
Go to the
one.
top.
We can have a look at the wonderful packaging.
So who's it by? Hornby.
Hornby,
And
Wow.
it's HO scale,
00 scale.
00 scale.
So it's British scale. This was released in the it was a brand new model in 2020. It was
Mhm.
part of the 2020 catalog. That
Yep.
was when Hornby had their centenary anniversary.
Yep.
And they released two versions of it. One
Yep.
was a limited edition one that was extremely sought after.
Right.
And then they did a regular run. And it
Yep.
was a box set like this with 3 coaches, first class coaches. And then they re-released it for this year.
Right.
Again, much anticipated. But this one's a bit
I'm
different.
excited.
So we've got this is the Stephenson's Rocket Mail Coach. So
Mail
this-
coach.
Mail coach. So it has a third class coach.
It's a bit
So
sexist.
a little bit. And the mail coach with the guard on top.
Oh, I
Sort of-
just noticed
that's it.
that. It's sitting in the back there.
Well protected from.
That looks
see
a
if I
bit
can bring it
precarious, doesn't it?
well protected from the elements. Yeah.
No wonder he needs a hat.
So beautiful packaging. They've got a nice blurb about the history of the railway and the locomotive.
Yes.
It's such a nicely presented thing.
Hmm.
I think they did a really outstanding job. We've already taken the loco and rolling stock out, obviously, so we can have a look. But
So are people going to play with this, or they're not even going to?
it could be. It definitely is a limited release. It is a collector's item. Having one of these sets, as they are quite sought after.
You're not going to let
Um,
BJ drive it, are you?
What do you mean? Don't
Well,
you trust
I'm
me?
not going to let you drive it,
No.
but
we
Yeah.
had a funny incident yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Marlon was behind the wheel.
that's it.
Hey?
Really?
Turns out the pins are falling out on my watch now.
Oh, really?
And not just you
Oh,
guys.
there you go.
But stellar job with the packaging.
Cool.
It's something a little bit out of the ordinary.
Yeah. I
So-
quite like the colors of the carriages.
It's a nice contrast. Isn't
Yeah,
it? Lots
really,
of different
really
colors.
Big color contrast.
But enough of
Yeah.
the packaging. Let's look at the actual.
Oh, so these
Alright,
are what
let's-
these are what I'm looking at here.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think we should probably
Gee,
start with the
They
rocket.
liked bright colours back in 1834, didn't they?
1834.
Isn't that when you said it?
Yeah, 1830s. I think
Hang
what's
on,
really.
that's it,
Oh,
that's
there
it,
we
that's
go.
it, that's it.
What's interesting about that era is it predates photography.
Yeah.
So written word and
How's that?
artists who took their own creative liberty doing paintings and drawings was the only reference that you'd have for color and details.
Super bright yellow.
It is, yeah. It kind of, all these barrels remind me a lot of Donkey Kong. I don't know about you guys.
What does that top barrel meant to have in it?
Water. So this
Oh,
is
is
the
it?
tender. So you've got your coal bunker,
Oh, what?
coal bunker.
Yeah.
And your water storage is here. This is a DCC ready locomotive. Inside of this barrel, you can see where the part line is room for a decoder. A very, very small decoder.
Yeah. These
Might
are
I
super
add.
small, yeah.
I think I used a tiny N scale decoder.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I had to bend the pins on a 90-degree angle to make it fit. So, yes, it is DCC compatible, but you do need to put on your thinking cap to get that to fit.
Yeah,
It's
those cylinders are beautiful.
Are
It's
they?
just so lovely in
It's
terms of
exciting
the
to look at.
detailing.
It's such a basic engine.
So front wheel drive,
Oh, is it? I
front
just
wheel
too.
drive, and the loco itself, the only driving wheels are the front wheels, just like the real thing. So the trailing wheels are freewheeling. You can see there's a lot of wires underneath, and that's because this draws power from all of the wheels.
Right.
And given the tiny footprint of the locomotive, that's a really big help. These run extremely well. They're beautiful runners, and we'll demonstrate that in a moment, especially for the size, because it weighs nothing. It's so light. You got this nice tall chimney. This reminds me of like the paddle steamers they would have had on the Mississippi River
Now, is it
in the 19th century.
is that purely decorative?
What do you
The
mean?
spikes at the top?
Yeah.
I think so.
It didn't do anything to shape the smoke into.
I don't think it did.
Little circles or anything? No.
It's like a little crown.
I don't know.
I think it's just decoration, mate.
Is
It's
it?
just a nice exhaust.
Yeah. Why not? They should put these on cars now, I think.
That's
Imagine that.
I'd wear one for a hat.
Would you?
See if I can bring it a bit
Very
closer.
shippy.
Might not be able to bring it all the way, but you can see Rocket. There's a nice
Rocket
builder's plate.
Industries.
Rocket
Let's see if I can get
Industries.
That is cool. That is a cool name for a loco, isn't it?
Rocket. And this would have been probably the fastest machine.
Well, it's the only one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much the fastest way you could get around on land. That wasn't a horse.
And it probably topped out at what?
Probably about 50 kilometers an hour. So
Wow.
they're reasonably quick. But this design became superseded really, really early on. I know that this is based on how it looked in its original form, and I know that they made a lot of revisions to the design in the couple of years that it worked for the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, and then other designs came in that replaced it very quickly. But yeah, pioneer in its field. You got to be very careful to put the
I like all those rivets, which is what's that? Is that the firebox?
yes, yeah, the firebox. And you can see the grate, I guess, the sort of like the opening to get in, and all of the nice brass valve work and gears and piping. It's a really beautifully detailed loco. And
Where
it's
does
really
the driver
small.
sit?
They just stand on that platform.
Really?
That's all they get.
day?
Yep.
It's
All
not.
day.
It's not particularly comfortable.
Speaking of which, I'll show you guys, and they're wrapped up
And
in
you'd have to
plastic
be shoveling coal too.
because it would look silly without a driver and a fireman.
So it actually comes with them.
A fireman.
Fireman to shovel the coal. You get, and he's got a little a little shovel in there. I'm certain. Oh, here he is.
Only a little shovel.
Here's the.
Well, it's only a little train, mate.
There he is. There's the fireman. Yeah.
What do you think he's gonna? Do you
You
think
never know. You get a bigger shovel, goes
Little
faster.
spade. So that, obviously, I'm not going to take them out of the sealed packaging, but you've got your
got
fireman
high
with a little
heels on.
spade. He
Oh.
does. He's
he's got high heels on, mate? He was ahead of the time.
And here's your driver here with his cool hat. Love the period outfits, 1830s.
He's turning something.
Turn the wheel. It's funny because they don't have steering wheels, do they?
I'm sure he's fiddling with all the brass piping.
Maybe the early models had steering wheels before they figured they couldn't.
Let's have a look at some of the rolling stock as well, BJ.
Okay.
This is the new addition for this year. This was one of the things that was not included in the initial release is the Royal Mail coach.
Oh, that's
With,
where the guard sits on the back there.
So not too dissimilar from their first class passenger coach, but you've got this wonderful seat and you've got a wonderful figure of the coolest looking mailman with a stovetop hat.
Definitely a man.
Where's his shotgun?
That's why it's called the mail coach.
Oh, maybe they didn't carry shotguns in England.
No, but you know what? The shotgun and probably all of his ammunition is right inside of that tool chest. I'm willing to bet, but I am a bit concerned about weather protection for this guy because I would imagine that in winter months he was not a happy guy. But
I just would have been wearing a
Why
really
couldn't
thick
he sit
trench coat.
inside?
well, because I don't know.
You wouldn't be able to see what's coming, right?
Why? What do you need to see?
Someone coming to rob you.
It's nicely done.
Doesn't it have windows?
He's got windows.
Yeah, there's glazing on there. But you can
So
see
you can sit inside and look out.
Yeah, but there wasn't like a prerequisite for how railway coaches should be built, and obviously a lot of inspiration was taken from the coach building trade with horse-drawn wagons, and you can see that with the first class coach as well. Liverpool.
Is that similar to the
Manchester.
coaches that came with the other sets?
That is, yeah. The original set came with 3 of these.
Right.
So
I'm
there's
thinking bananas.
Very decorative, isn't it?
it's got handlebar mustache on one side, almost like Brett's mustache.
That's right.
But I just love the that 19th century design, that topography that they use. It's all very nicely done. It's all quite accurate from what I understand as well.
Treasure.
It's just really nice. And then for the plebs, you've
Plebs.
got the plebs. This is your
What's
third.
this? The
You're lucky,
minions.
you're lucky to even be in a train, son. You know, if you're riding in this,
You gotta sit in the open wagon.
Did they have?
that's it.
Really?
I don't even. Yeah, you just stand. There isn't even seats. Well, you think you're gonna get a seat? The alternative was walking or your
it's probably
horse.
better than walking,
You know,
isn't it?
so
I'd rather take a horse.
being in this, there were actually scientists. I use that word, scientists in parentheses, that were worried about the negative impacts that traveling at the speed that this thing did would have on human health.
Oh,
And it just goes to show how far we've come in about 200 years.
They would have all been smoking pipes on there.
That's
They
it.
weren't concerned about that.
They were probably concerned that they were moving too fast they could light their pipe.
yeah,
But anyway, that's a really in-depth look at the fantastic array of rolling stock that you get.
they're nice.
Maybe we should
We're gonna give it a go.
move the car of the week ever so quickly
Could
and
be the
Am I allowed
car.
to control this?
It could be the car of a lifetime.
make sure it's on
I
there.
think car of the week's a bit undercooked.
Turn it on.
Yeah,
Where's going that way?
it is a super smooth runner.
So so now you got to back it up.
Let's see how slow I'm gonna do it.
No, that's slow, mate.
So slow, I wasn't moving. How's that?
That's a really, really cool loco.
Just running.
I can't believe how quiet it is.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, I mean, it just runs really good.
When it gets to the end, I'm gonna turn on the turbo.
One thing that I will mention, if you give it quite a bit of throttle, because it's only front wheel drive, it has quite a bit of wheel slip.
Oh, here we go.
How good was that? I'll do it again.
I don't think it ever accelerated that fast. Check out that wheel slip that you get from a standing start if you really give it a bit of throttle.
I'm watching.
You watching? You ready? Oh.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Impressive, is that
Yeah.
what they used to do? Burnouts.
They were the original steam era Hearns.
If I did that, you would yell at me.
What?
If I drove a loco like that, you would yell at me.
Yeah, but you're not special like me.
I forgot to mention they give you these little plastic couplers that look like chains. They're not actually chains, but I know quite a few people who
Oh.
buy these will
Yeah, look on
replace
the top.
them with actual chains, as a link between the loco and the carriages. These take forever to put on, and they're sealed, so we're not going to take them out. But it just gives a bit more of an authentic appearance because a standardized coupler system hadn't been invented yet.
All right.
They just use chains.
Held on with a
That
chain.
makes
That's
more
it.
sense to me. No?
That's it. So that's
And
a
then
bit
they
of,
went probably to just use chains as safeties for the next 100 years.
probably, yeah.
Like a trailer in your car, no?
I mean,
Safety chains
it's
Well,
clever
it's-
that they got buffers on
Don't
these.
they still
too.
use safety chains on trains? No.
on trains.
Yeah. Don't they have it?
Not on my train, mate.
I'll
No.
put the car
I'm
of the
sure
week
I've seen
back.
them before.
No, you wouldn't know. You haven't been on a train for a while.
I was on a train like a few days ago.
Train every day. I need that. I need that as a reference.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. But
Oh.
that is that's a quick look at the rocket, and that's something that we've been looking forward to seeing for quite a while. And pretty special limited production locomotive until they decide to come out with whatever new
Are you worried?
iteration that they'll produce.
This is somebody's gonna love and cherish this, and here you are playing around like a big kid.
It's called getting run in. Oh, there you go. How good's that?
I wonder what
On a
kind
dime.
of noise would it make, or is it just standard noise?
Just standard noise, but I would love to know the horsepower rating actually and the tractive effort, but it would have been impressive at the time. Cutting edge technology in the 1830s.
Back in the day, they would have just kept on bringing the horse over to measure the horsepower.
Potentially, well, it definitely beat the horsepower that time, didn't it? The
did.
horsepower
Yeah.
loco. All right,
So
enough.
I thought-
What else have we got?
But why don't
What
we
are we
go
looking
Oh,
at? What's this one?
forward in history a little bit?
Oh,
Probably
history
probably
lessons.
another. That's it. Probably another.
Can I touch this one?
It's
100
brand spanking
years.
new.
They are. Yeah, these are.
They look
They're
really
pannier.
old.
They are pretty old. Not nearly as old as this. This would be future technology, but they are class 64 XX.
Really flat sort of water tanks, aren't they?
Well, it's they call these pannier tank engines.
Right.
And I think that's sort of a reference to the design.
Because it had pannier.
Yeah.
Water
So they're
tank
just hanging over
That's
the
it.
sides.
over the boiler.
Right.
You want to have a closer look?
Yeah.
Jump right in.
So these are Auckland branch line
Wow.
logos, and we just received them. This is in my
Are you a
opinion.
Hornby man or a Barkman man?
I'm more of a. I like specific locomotives,
Of course.
and it's really a matter of who takes. It's a matter of who takes the time to produce it. It's a matter of if you want something, you just have to go to the manufacturer that does it, and
You just appreciate the good.
that's it. You appreciate the fact, and if more than one manufacturer is on board, that's even better, because I guess competition, breeds quality. But yeah, this is an iconic locomotive of the Great Western Railway, which was, I think,
GWR.
GWR, 1920s through the late 1940s, before British Railway.
1940s.
Yeah, they I don't know too much about the specifications. However,
Doesn't look very fuel efficient.
What's the bell looking thing that's on the
the dome. Well,
Yeah.
whereabouts are you looking?
this dome here? You see that on quite a few locos. What
I
does
think
it actually do?
there's a steam valve in there. I think on some locomotives they also used to house sand to help with the tractive effort. Because if you're on wet rails, sometimes it's good to have something that can feed sand and use
Oh,
steam pressure to feed sand down to the rails and
Right.
help it adhere to the track.
Really?
That was quite common.
The trams do that in Melbourne now.
Yeah, they do. They've got quite
They
a lot
got a
of torque.
sandbox.
there's a couple
I
of
think
sand.
I think it's mainly for braking though. I don't know for accelerating. I don't know. I'm not a tram driver.
I've certainly been on a few of the Melbourne trams where it's wet rails and it's uphill from the platform, and they have a bit of wheel slip if they get on the throttle too much.
Especially if BJ's driving.
Yeah. But it's a lovely loco, great paint scheme.
Are we going to run these locos?
We can, as a matter of fact. The one that you've got is the same, with the exception of it was when British Railways.
What are you doing?
We will have to take the rocket off.
Rocket's coming up?
Yeah.
Rock it off.
This
Can
has
we
this
run
has
them at the
the.
same time?
I'm going to call
I'd
you.
rather not.
Oh.
No, I'd rather
I'm
not
going to
do
call
that.
you. I'd call you Rocket Man, but you might find that offensive.
Well, I've been called Rocket Man already.
Have you?
Which one did you want to run?
Yeah,
The BR,
Jeff's saying Rocket Man. Which one are we going to run?
the BR one, or the Great Western? Because the difference between these two, really, besides the numbers, is when Great Western Railway became British Railway, they just applied their insignia to it.
Oh,
and
look at
put
this. Cool. Is that a
pinstriping.
line?
Yeah, they've got red pinstriping all the way around it. So that's
That's cool, isn't
Pinstriping's
it?
faster.
There
I
you go.
say put the pinstriping
Yeah.
on it. No?
you got the early British Railways insignia.
I think I'm going to do that to my car.
put red pinstriping
Yeah.
on it and paint a lion jumping over a wheel on
Yeah, I
it.
think
Oh, is that what it's doing? It's
Yeah.
not just lying on the wheel.
I'm not sure what it's doing to the wheel,
doing?
but It's there, but
It's
they
got a bit of attractive effort.
that's it.
It's
Line
really relaxed.
power.
All right, so you got a little
What's
coal
on the
box thing.
what's on the parcel shelf?
Coal.
For all the
How
naughty
did
kids
it-
at Christmas time.
How did he scoop it out of there? That looks awkward.
I thought there was a little hatch down there for the firemen.
So
I'm
it
not
would
small
feed-
enough to
So
go
it
in
would
there.
feed down.
Yeah, not
That
small
would
enough.
would make sense because it looked like it would be hard to get up there with the shovel.
You need two firemen.
Well, you
One
get-
to flick it around inside.
You get the guard on the Royal Mail coach to do it. He'd just be sitting up there and he'd hand you a lump of coal when you needed it.
Yeah. Like a meerkat.
Lovely loco. Which one did you want to put on the track and have a run?
What do you reckon?
Either one. I'm saying this one because it's in my hand.
That one? All right. Let's move this out of the way.
So these are DC ready. So we just have them on a standard DC control at the moment.
Did you like that?
Give it a kickstart.
That is a good runner. I'm
Give it-
calling
give
it.
it a go.
I am calling it a good runner. I'm putting my hand here because it's going to shoot off the bench.
No.
A lot of button pushing over there.
Let's see how slow I can get it. How's that?
No.
That's right, isn't it?
It's
Great.
still.
Weren't ready for that, were you?
Oh my days!
I know.
Weren't ready.
What I love is also this is not they're not large locomotives
Just
by
then,
any means.
Nick would have fallen off his camel.
You would have.
He would have panicked.
Good
how-
thing we're not there to see it.
Look how small the rocket is in comparison. And this is not a big loco. This is considered to be quite a tiny one.
It's too big for our layout.
Well, it is actually. Wrong track gauge for a layout. I'm sorry. I should have designed it around the rocket. Should have done an 1830s era layout.
The rocket would have been cool. There you go.
It is cool, isn't it? Nice.
Well,
It's nice. New
I've
stuff.
learned a lot, and I'm even more confused.
What do you mean more confused? What's confusing you?
That these two trains are the same thing, but they're called different.
Oh, that's because they swapped over.
That's right. They changed the badge.
That's right.
That's it.
That's pretty cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for having a look at that with me. I think we'll probably put that back into a little box.
That was good fun. I like that. That might,
That
end,
is really cool, isn't it?
that might end up in my bag.
You reckon?
Well, if I was looking at it, it would end up in my bag.
I don't know that you qualify. I don't know.
Qualify what? I've got a bag.
The people who buy those have to be qualified.
Qualified? What do you mean?
But Marlin doesn't just sell them to anybody.
Well, I need a diploma.
That's it. They
Yeah.
have to face the the series of trials required.
That's right. And hoops to jump through. You
That's
can't
it.
just walk into the store and buy that.
Actual physical hoops. You need to be quite agile.
Is that to anyone or just me?
Well, you've seen me drive, mate.
Did anybody have anything interesting? It's a pocket rocket.
That's
Agreed.
right. Rocket Man is a pocket rocket.
Well, I'll be back in a little bit, guys. And
All
we'll
right.
talk about the layout now
Yeah,
that it's
good
completely
stuff.
finished.
The 009.
Thanks, Marlon.
See you in a bit.
The 009 is 00 awesome.
Let's talk about the car.
The car of the week.
We've got a guess on the car.
I'm not excited.
You know why?
I'm just not excited.
Why
What do you want me to say?
Chevy Camaro.
I'm saying no. I don't actually know. What is it, Marlon?
Is it a Chevy Camaro?
Well,
It is, isn't it?
apparently it could be.
What do you mean apparently it could be? Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is a little bit.
That's right.
Is that what you mean?
Could be a half, but
All
we
right.
need to know more.
All right.
There's something special about it, or the badges, or
Yes.
the
It's
years
a
and the
specific
colors.
version of it.
It's a thing.
Yep.
It is a thing,
Okay.
and I'm really scared I'm going to get electrocuted.
Oh, yeah?
The train stuff
wanna do?
scares me, mate. What can I say?
It's only 12 volts.
Car of the week, Chevy Camaro. Well, we're part the way there. That's all
Yep.
I'm saying.
Yep.
What else have we got?
We've got... We're going to do a little tutorial, aren't we?
We were going to do a live on air tutorial.
Yep. We had a
And this
request.
is something this is a request from Anthony, is that right?
Was it anything? I can't remember.
We're gonna be stripping down and cleaning an airbrush.
Oh, I had the stripping down bit.
I got excited. Which is going to be really good because I'm going to learn properly how to do it. Because last time my airbrush needed cleaning, I gave it to BJ.
I cleaned it really good and it worked.
Worked really good.
Yeah, see?
And we're going to be doing painting in the studio next week.
Yes.
So
we're going to
which
do some
will be-
bodies, yeah?
We're going to do some RC bodies.
Yep.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later on,
Yep.
the project phases that I'm working on.
Yes.
But yeah, let's have a look at these airbrushes. What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, why not? So we've got a couple of different airbrushes here.
Well, they're both
So these are both 9 steps airbrushes.
9 steps.
Yep. Let me just pull this out. Yeah.
We have got the premium 0.2.
Yep.
And the classic 0.3. Is that
Okay,
right?
so this is the classic. That's
Yep.
a 0.3 millimeter nozzle.
Which
this
is my
is-
favorite.
Yes. Well, that's the one.
For
That's
the-
the go-to. 0.3.
For the acrylic RC stuff
Yep.
that I do,
Yep.
which is pretty basic
Yep.
by airbrush standards, that is perfect for me because it doesn't clog a lot, spit and spatter, and because my paint's pretty thick, not being the really thin lacquer paints.
Yep.
So it's quite a thick pigment, and
Yep.
it's got the real elastic, the polymer in it.
Yes. Well, I guess 0.3 is also a good go-to because it's big enough to shoot most metallic particles through it, and also primers will go through it without too much problem. When you go to the 0.2, the 0.2 is very much for fine work. Can have some problems with chunky metallic flecks, and primers can get stuck in it as well. So if anything, you choose the airbrush that you're going to be doing what's going to suit your work most, and then you'll consider getting the other one as a...
So for me, for example, when I do fluoros or candy colors, I use the 0.2.
Yep.
When I'm doing whites, blacks, and metallics with a heavy pigment, I'll use the 0.3 and better really just hose it on like a chimp.
Yep. Now, apart from the nozzle size, the difference is this particular one, the premium, has got a micro air control valve.
Yeah.
So this controls the air, so that you get all your air from your compressor going up this point, goes through this channel here and through here, and you see that at this point here, the valve controls the amount of pressure that comes out. So this is very handy for adjusting the air pressure when you're trying to get that really fine line.
On the fly. Yeah, it's like a super fine adjuster.
Yes, that's right. So it's more what's finer than the one that's on the compressor.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Most of the time, you don't particularly need it on this. You would generally see these Mac valves on the finer airbrushes.
Yeah, well, when you're doing really, really fine paint work,
your
lacquers or that sort of stuff, the really, really thin paints, maybe the washes even.
Yes.
But yeah, that's where you'd really want to make sure that you've got the perfect flow for what you're doing.
That's it. Okay, so both of these are double action. Now, double action means it's got two actions for controlling. So you've got here, so you push back on the trigger. That pulls back the needle from the nozzle, and that controls how much paint. So the further you pull it back, the more paint you get. And then the other action is pressing down. That controls the air valve, which is in here. That controls the air pressure. Okay, so you press a little bit, you'll get a finer line. Press it all the way, you'll get a lot more paint coming out. Okay, and these are both gravity feed, which is our preferred style when we're doing our modeling stuff.
Other than suction feed.
That's right.
Suction feed, the other one, that's the one that feeds from underneath.
That's right. So you got, this is gravity top feed.
Yep.
Then you've got gravity feed, which can be all the way on the bottom, and sometimes you've got side feed as well. So side feed is like a hybrid between the two.
Is it?
It's got the advantage of being able to put on a gravity feed cup on the side, and then also a side fed siphon. But even that, I still prefer to, with the price of these, you buy yourself a gravity feed, and then if you need to cover large areas, get yourself a separate suction feed for large areas.
Get yourself a paintbrush. A spray can.
A big one.
That's what spray cans are for.
Okay, so we've got our cap there. So the cap is there just so you don't spill the paint. Okay, they're just friction. They come off.
And what you have to be careful of, and what mistakes I've made is actually having a blocked
the hole.
Bleeder hole.
Yeah,
and
that has to be open.
And it'll be behaving like you've got a blockage.
Yes.
And you'll take the cap off, and it's working. You put the cap on.
Yep.
It'll work for a little bit, but then obviously it gets a vacuum in the paint.
That's right.
So you've got to make sure when you're doing your color changes to run your toothpick through there.
That's right.
Especially me, because I'm like,
you get it everywhere.
Upside down. Well, when you're doing bodies, it's a little bit awkward.
Yes.
You know, well, it's awkward for me. Anyway, everything's awkward.
Well, it's a personal preference, really. Some people don't even use a cap because they like it open so they can change the paint quickly. Because if you're doing a lot of different colors and you're only using a little bit, then generally there's no chance of you spilling it over like this.
No.
But if you're doing bodies where you actually fill this up most of the way, then this will definitely help from spilling out the paint.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing we have in here is, both of these are actually fitted with a trigger stop. Now, what this does is it controls how far you can actually push the needle.
Yeah.
So
that's probably my favorite adjustment.
Is it?
Yeah. So because I don't have very much finesse or control.
Yeah.
I usually stick it to worst case scenario.
Oh, okay.
And that will change from color to color. Like I said, if it's a very thin pigment, then you really want less flow. Where if it's a really thick pigment, it won't come out of the gun properly. So you need a bigger needle opening.
So you see that how I've screwed it in, and it's reduced the movement of the trigger. Okay, so we've only got this much movement now. with the needle, which means it'll only do fine work.
Yeah.
So if you're only doing fine work, you don't want to accidentally pull it all the way back and have a big splodge come out. That's what you use here.
Splodgy splodge.
Splodge. That's right.
Technical words.
So yeah. So that's the figure in stop. So not all airbrushes come with this, and I don't particularly need it for myself. It's just that I've used.
What are you trying to say?
I've got a lot of finger control. That's all I was going to say.
That sounds even weirder.
Okay, so what we're going to do? We're going. The request was to show how to dismantle and fully clean an airbrush, right?
Right.
Now to do that, we're going to need to load it up with some paint, put paint through it so it's dirty, and then we'll show you how we go about pulling it apart and then cleaning it.
All right.
Okay.
Which one? Surely we're not going to do both. Which one do you want to
We'll
do?
just do one. Yeah, we'll just do this one, eh? This is,
I like this one because you can sort of see the internal a little bit.
oh, you can see it moving. Okay, we'll do that one then.
All right, we'll do that
All
one.
right. What we got? We'll get our airbrush holder here.
Do we have a paint pot? Do we have the?
Well, I haven't got any actually.
We ran out, didn't we? The 9-step paint
Yeah,
pots.
there's some coming.
They've been selling so fast.
Well, that's no good. You're converted, aren't you?
Yeah, I will not paint without one.
Now, where's the quick release that I had here before?
It's in there.
No. There it is. Okay, so we've
Quick
got
release.
quick release
Oh,
that we're using here. That's
Let's
an
do it.
optional extra. Okay, so we're just going to screw this onto here.
so that goes on the bottom.
Yeah.
And that saves you turning the compressor on and off every time you.
That's right, because every time you disconnect the hose, it'll seal off from here.
like a
So just
dry
press on.
brake connection.
You just hear it now.
Don't paint the rat.
Paint. There's no paint in here. It's all good. And then it just releases just like that. Easy.
Sounds like there's a lot of air. Did you check the compressor?
What do you mean?
What are we on? 38 psi.
That's right.
All right.
I didn't check it, but it should be at the same point it was last time.
Have we got paper? What are we painting? What have we got here?
I just got a bit of tissue that we're going to paint. So let's mix up some paint. I've got some acrylic Tamiya.
Look out! I've got a stabby thing.
You got a stabby thing. Okay. All right. So I've got some Tamiya acrylic paint.
Have you got water?
I didn't get any water actually.
We need water.
But I've got this. This is thinner.
Is it thinner than water?
Oh, you're an idiot. All right. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here. So I'm just mixing it so that we can airbrush this paint. Now I do this by feel. Because
What do you mean, feel?
well, I just look at it and I think, yeah, that's sprayable. Just that I'm so used to mixing paints these days.
But
when people ask
you're used
me-
to doing spokes.
Oh,
But
yeah,
you've forgotten how to paint.
I can do spokes too now. That's my new skill.
Oh,
Okay, so we'll get a little bit of this in there. Okay, so quite often people ask me, well, how do you get the right consistency for airbrushing? And I think the easiest way to describe it is get it to a milky consistency, right? So
but
you
what's
want it thicker than water, but you don't want it like hanging on the sides of the container. The other trick too is when you put your brush into your mix,
Yep.
if it comes off in drips, which this does, that's airbrushable.
as
If it comes
opposed-
off as a stream, like a big long, you know, hanging snot looking thing, then that's not good. You didn't want that visual, did you?
Not really.
No, okay. Well, I'm happy with that. I mean,
I feel nauseous.
you could probably go thicker, but for this demonstration,
Not as
that's
thick as
good
some.
enough. Okay, so I chose black because that's easy to see. Right, let's get that out of the
What are
way.
you trying to say?
All right, so
Airbrush?
let's just clean off this paint brush here. All right, I'm going to pour a bit of this in here.
What's the other trick to do? How do you pour it in?
Use a brush.
Yep.
This is something I learned in chemistry class a long time ago.
What are
Okay,
you
so
doing in chemistry class?
learning about chemicals. So,
Making paints.
all right, so can you see that? I've just rested the side of the brush up against here. And once the liquid touches a brush, it'll flow along the brush straight into the cup,
Like so.
like so. Okay, so we don't need much in there. That's more than enough, isn't it?
I'm not sure. What are you painting?
Well, we're just going to paint this piece of paper here. Because our main thing is we're going to clean. Okay, so we've got out. Don't need that anymore.
Can you do a picture of Marlin?
Picture of Marlin.
Are you taking requests? Hello?
Here we go.
What picture can we do?
Don't know.
I'd laugh if that airbrush is blocked from the get-go. We didn't actually try this before, did we, on camera?
No, we didn't.
And it could be. It's been in the box for quite a while.
Yeah, well, it was
Who was the last one to use it?
me.
I'm glad you dug yourself in.
Hey.
It was probably me, but
Hey.
Look, well, we've got a good excuse now to clean it.
Well, that's it. It's not coming out, is it?
I've got a trick.
What's your trick?
Do a bit of back burning, mate.
Oh, the back bubble?
The back
Okay.
bubble.
So you can do the backflow. I'm not a real fan of this because when you block it like this, you can damage the needle. Okay, so you just got to make sure you don't push all the way in. And you want to get the bubble effect happening.
Is it blowing bubbles?
No.
No, it's completely blocked. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no paint coming out of there, mate.
No.
That is blocked.
Let's pull this out.
Well, that's the best demonstration possible.
That's it. Blockages.
Well, now you have to be confident that you're going to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
I've
the other
got
thing.
confidence.
Have you?
Yeah, I've always got confidence.
All right. Well, that's why I give you the airbrushes to clean, mate.
All right, so we want to get rid of all this paint that's in here. I could use a tissue.
Yep.
Let's just wipe off all the excess here. Now, sometimes tissue is not the best thing because some of the fine fibers can come off.
And you can get a rash on your nose.
A rash on your nose. What have you been doing?
If you wipe it like you wipe the airbrush, I'm not surprised. No?
All right.
Come on, what's going on?
All right, so we'll do that.
There's no point flushing any thinners through it.
No, because it's not going to go through.
It's not going to go through it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is release this. All right, and we're going to start pulling it apart.
Yep.
All right, so we take the backing off.
What can I do for you?
I don't know. What can you do? You just take the back section off here first. And then you want to take off the... Oh, this is probably why. It's loose.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. We didn't really test it beforehand.
That's why it's not moving.
Because the needle
moving
was
now.
loose in there.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
the
well, there you
needle,
go.
probably not blocked.
All right.
Oh, you just took it straight out.
I did. You're just going to make sure you pull it out straight. Because if you put it on an angle, you'll bend the needle. If you bend the needle, it'll start blowing to one direction. You don't want that. Okay, so we've got the needle here.
It's nothing worse when it blows in not a straight line.
No. And we can see there's some really fine paint there from last time. So we can get a bit of thinner on there for me.
Do you want me to fix this?
Yep.
Are we going to do a complete strip then, or are you going to
No, we'll do a complete.
painting?
No, I might as well do the complete thing.
I don't like to go straight to the tip.
You can go to the tip, just pull it out like this. That's it.
Like that?
Yep. There's less chances of bending the needle by pulling it through.
And I actually polish mine.
Yeah?
You know that? Yeah, because I keep autosol in my
Yep. Yeah, that can definitely help.
And this one here has never been polished.
Yep.
So, and that does help because you can feel it's quite
Yep.
rough.
Yep.
So the paint does stick to it a little bit more.
Yep.
It's not something you have to do, but it can also feel nicer on your finger.
Yep.
So there we go.
Okay, so we got our needle. That's all done. Now we're going to take the nozzles.
At this point, what I like to do, Beej, is I
Yeah.
usually put it on a piece of glass or on the bench and actually roll it
Oh, and see if it's straight or
and see
not.
if I've damaged it.
Yep.
Because there's a good chance
That you damaged
that,
stuff.
that I've damaged it or bent it. And this is a perfect example of one being completely straight that I haven't worked on yet.
Yep. Good stuff.
Fantastic.
All right, so that's good. We're going to take the
How many
cap
times
off.
have you stabbed yourself with a needle?
Not often. I'm
Really?
really careful of that because they hurt. All right, take the cap off. So the cap's the very end part. Now this is the end of the nozzle, and this is where the needle would normally be protruding. So that's why you take the needles out first.
Yeah, that's the best way to ding the end of your needle.
And then we'll take off this nozzle cap here.
Don't go quiet.
Go quiet.
Do you want me to zoom in? Do you want to have a
There we
good
go.
look?
And then we've got the nozzle itself. I might as well zoom in, eh?
Let me zoom in.
Bit of focusage. That's it. So this part here, that's the nozzle. Okay, and this is where the needle, when you press it in from the other side, it actually protrudes, and that's where all your paint comes out of. The air travels around it, creates a vortex, and it sucks the paint out.
A vortex.
Vortex.
A vortex of a Venturi.
That's it. So with this, it's got some flats on it, and we've got our little spanner here. Just got to be really careful when we're taking this apart and putting it together.
You haven't met my alter ego, have you?
What's your alter ego?
Max Venturi.
No. Is that a worry?
Why?
I don't know. All right, so we're just going to
Break
loosen
that.
this off.
I'm going to break it.
I'm not going to break it. All right, and then once I've got it loosened, I like to use my fingers to take it off. The less chances of doing any damage.
I might just get it on camera, mate. It's even
sorry.
trickier.
Here
I
we
think
go.
you need a mag visor.
There we go. You can see some of that paint. So that's some of that black paint that was stuck there before. Didn't travel anywhere because the needle wasn't moving. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to clean this nozzle as well. Okay, you see all the paint coming out there?
Here I've got a skewer.
Here we've got a skewer. Okay, so I'll show you the skewer because you can use a
Chopstick.
Well, a nozzle cleaner as well. You can get them, the brass, so steel ones, which look like the end of a needle with a flat on the end.
I don't like to use it because I feel that it wears the nozzle or the nib.
It can if you're not careful. Because
Well,
you press it too hard, then
you'll gouge it.
well, that's right, because it's going to be harder than the nozzle. So what I prefer to use is a skewer. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to sharpen this.
Like
Yeah.
a pencil.
Yeah, a skewer or a
Do you want me to pull back a bit?
Yes, please. All right, so I'm just going to sharpen this until it's about the size of the needle.
You probably don't want to do it with an open airbrush and get all metal shavings, wood shavings in
It's
there.
just wood. You're going to get yourself cut there, aren't you? All right, so I've got that pretty sharp now. Thing is, you need to get
How
it
sharp?
pretty sharp. You want to get to a point where it actually protrude out the end of the nozzle.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
have you broken it in there before?
Eh?
Have you broken it in there before?
No, I haven't. But you got to be careful, see? So the thing is, you see how small this hole is here? You got to make sure that this is going to go all the way through. And this one's quite a long nozzle, so this actually isn't sharp enough yet. Got to cut off a lot of material. Now the advantage of this is because the wood is so much softer, it's not going to damage it, but it will clear any dried paint.
You're putting whittlings everywhere.
Hey?
Whittlings.
Whittlings.
Wood whittlings.
No, I'm rushing this a bit, so I don't know if I'm doing this right.
I don't really like to say Russian. Okay.
Sorry? All right, so let's try and poke it through. Oh, I don't think it's sharp enough yet. Okay, so let's just have a look through it. You just look through it as well. And actually, I can see through it, so it's clear. But yeah, if I had time, you'd sharpen that until it's really, really thin, and then you'll be able to clean it all the way through. So once you see the wooden pipe come out the other end, you know that's fully clean.
But you don't want to break it.
No. Okay. All right, so we've got a clear nozzle now. Okay, the thing is,
So
when
you
they
wouldn't
come out...
you wouldn't want to use the needle for that. Is that what you're saying?
No. What, to poke through it?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Because
the chances of bending it, yeah. Okay, now we've got our nozzle there. It's got a little O-ring, but they do also have like a thread lock type of seal on them as well from the factory. Okay, and
what do you use?
I use
your lipstick.
That's it. So anything like Vaseline or anything like that will be fine. Okay, so you just put a little bit of this on it.
I don't usually carry Vaseline in my pocket.
Don't you? I do. I carry one of these in my pocket every day.
Well, that's because you got chapped lips.
What are you trying to say?
Or you like to fix airbrushes.
That's it. Okay, so I've got a little bit on the threads, and as you screw this back together, that's going to stop any air from feeding back. Because if you get air feeding back, then it's just not going to spray, is it?
Not really.
No. Okay.
How good is the chrome work on that airbrush?
It's pretty thick, isn't it? All right, so we carefully put the nozzle back on with our hands. Because these are made of brass, but the threads are very, very fine. So you don't want to damage them at all.
No.
Okay, so if you can zoom in on that.
I'll try my best. Just don't yell at me.
Okay, so you see that? I've got the nozzle on the end now. And it's finger tight. We've just got to do it up tighter so that it doesn't leak. Now I've got my glasses, so I can't really see what the flats are on this. Is that a flat there?
Do you need a mag visor?
All right, so there's a flat.
Yep.
And I'm just going to do it up. It feels tight now. And just a little bit of pressure. That's it. That's all you need. If you wrench it any further, it'll break.
And that is a common thing, isn't it?
That's it. Okay, so it's back on now.
While we're in Zoom, we can have a look at you putting the cap on.
Yep, nozzle cap.
And can put the needle in too, so I can see it protruding. Oh, yeah.
You want to see it protruding?
Yeah, we'll see it protruding.
Okay. So we've got our needle here.
Do not stab yourself and put it in straight.
I always use a finger here to guide it in.
Do you? Yeah, that's how
So you don't.
I've sewn myself to the airbrush before, something like that. So I go straight through it. No.
All right. So you see that it's just protruding
See?
there.
Look how fine it is.
Yep.
And that's where you don't.
And that's where we tighten up the knurled nut here, which wasn't tightened up before, which is pretty important.
So you push it all the way home.
Yep. And now when we move our trigger, that should all move, which is good. You'll see it here too. And that's what you want.
And then you want to hold it back while you put the cap on in case you damage the...
That's right. So we'll retract the needle, put the end cap on, and that's complete. Pretty much. Let me just put the cover on it.
Stop.
Yep. And there we go. That's it. It's ready to go.
You make it look so easy.
Do I? All right. So let's pop this back to where we were.
I just hope it works now. Otherwise, I'll be embarrassed for you.
You'll be embarrassed for me. Excellent.
Hey.
All right. We've got air. All right. Need a bit of paint. Yep.
Yeah, you pour it in. I'll make a mess. I promise you, I'll make a mess.
Why? You can do this technique too, can't you?
I can hear the concentration.
Can you?
Yeah, like you're buzzing.
That'll do. I'm buzzing.
Yeah, you're like white noise on the TV.
Oh no! All right, there we go. Okay.
Cap on.
Cap on. Ah, we do it with the cap off, eh? There you go.
Look,
that.
you fixed it. You were
so basically, we didn't realize, right? But the knurled nut was loose, but that gave us the same effect of a block nozzle.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why the no paint was coming out. So going through this, and by cleaning out the nozzle, you make sure that you can see through the hole of the nozzle. Yep. Once that's good, you'll be ready to go.
Because you often get, it doesn't look like it, but you often get like crusty paint, don't you, in the nozzle?
Yes.
Because it's right at the tip of the needle, and that's where it'll tend to clog up. And that's when you tend to get spatters and a horrible spray pattern.
That's right. So it's good.
BJ's drawing you a picture.
Well, what am I doing?
A picture of Marlin.
Does it look like him? There's a resemblance, isn't it?
Looks like a dog's breakfast, mate. I'll be honest.
Well, that's because there's a bigger fault.
I thought you were going to demonstrate me a beautiful spray pattern and how good our premium airbrush is, but you've just done a dog's breakfast for us.
How's that?
That is phenomenal. That is why I've entrusted you with the painting of the scale car for me. Hey, we're doing that, aren't we?
You see that? There's little dots.
Do we get to do airbrushing on our model?
Airbrushing?
Yeah. Or we
we can. I was just going to use a can, but yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got an airbrush here, so why not? All right, so what do we do now? We're just going to flush it out. Okay, so I'll just use our tissue again and do this.
Definitely not allowed to sleep. You definitely get rashes. You end up with a blood nose like that.
What do you mean? And pour in a bit of thinner or water in this case, will be fine. Oh, that's a bit too much. Fill the whole thing up. What are you doing?
I thought you wanted it full.
No, you don't need that much.
Why?
So basically, you can see the spray coming out now. It's already pretty clean. It's 99% full. Oh, you're an idiot.
You can't have it too clean.
Well, this is going to be super clean now, isn't it? All right. So that's good to go.
I like to get my thumb in there as well.
Thumb? What do you mean thumb?
Get in there and... Like, not now, it's too full. It's going to stir it everywhere. But if you didn't fill it up so much...
Well, the other thing, too, is if at any stage that you're cleaning it or you're using an airbrush and you see bubbles coming up through here, that'll be because the air is actually going back inside the nozzle. And you'll need to take off the nozzle and put on that Vaseline.
Put on your lipstick. On your lipstick.
That's it. That's good. All right, let's just pour out the excess. Don't need all that. All right, and that's ready to go. All right. Ready for the next time.
And then next time we can be sure that the needle's been done up this time.
Yeah, that's right, because we just did it.
Oh,
how was that? Gee, that was a bit of a task, wasn't it?
You made hard work out of that.
Did I? Didn't mean to. It just happened. All right, let's take this off. So there you go. So hopefully you learnt a bit.
I love the dry brake connections. Do you have any of those in stock?
The what?
The dry brake, the air connectors.
Oh yeah, well I think we've got some Uwada ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have some more 9-step ones shortly.
They are really
they're
cool.
really handy.
I don't have them, and my little compressor goes bah.
It goes what? It goes bah?
Yeah, it's like related to a sheep. It goes bah. All right.
So I've got a question about the cleaning. So Anthony wants to know how often we do this deep clean. So generally I only do it when there's an issue.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy. You could do it after each session. I wouldn't do it after each color.
No, you wouldn't do it out. Well,
No.
yeah, when you've got an issue or after each session.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it after each session, then you tend to get that's where it will dry.
I think that when we did the final flush,
Yeah.
if it comes out clean, I wouldn't worry about doing a nozzle clean.
Yeah.
'Cause
The
it's
only thing I
super
would have
clean
done
coming out
there
anyway.
was I would have backfed the bubbles and made sure that I blew,
Oh, blew upwards.
and then
Yeah.
that was it. Then tip it out, and then
Yep.
that's as far as I go,
Yep.
unless there's a problem. And
So that
like I
should be
said,
fine.
I didn't actually know how to do that, and I had painted probably about 8 RC bodies. Not all at once, mind you, probably
Yep.
over a period of 6 months. And then
Yep.
I was having troubles with my airbrush, and I said, BJ, can you please have a look at it for me? And that's what he did.
Yep.
So, yeah, you won't need to do that all the time.
But if it's like me, then I don't do the back feed. If it looks clean, I'll just leave it. Because the last thing you're putting through is thinners, and that'll evaporate by itself. And then it'll be totally clean and dry for the next time you're going to use it.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. All right. What are we going to do now?
You can't drink that.
I don't want to drink that.
What do you want to talk
Tastes
about?
terrible. Well, we've got plastic kits, and then we've also got your layout. We've got this too, but we've got no takers.
And we got more. All right.
We've got no takers.
Well, that's good because I want to talk RC.
RC. All right.
And I want to talk, first of all, I've been so excited. I want to talk Kilo.
Yep.
I want to talk the Vintage Bash.
Yep.
And I want to talk the raffle prize.
Cool.
So that is coming together. So
Yep.
Kilo is hosting the event for the Vintage Bash.
Yep.
Which is happening the last weekend in October.
How exciting is that going to be?
It's going to be super cool. So we've got our cards ready. Actually, I didn't bring them into the studio. We've got our cards ready. But the club itself, Kilo, is doing a raffle. And it's going to be drawn on Sunday of the 30th of October on race day.
Yep.
And it's a Optima Mid.
How good is that?
So Hearns kindly donated one to the club because we're a major sponsor of the club.
Yes.
So we donated one to the club, and the club is going to raise money to help the facilities.
Yes.
So it's all going to go back. The club's got the license and everything to do the raffle properly.
Yep.
So tickets are limited. There's only 100 tickets. You have to buy them through the club's website or Facebook post. Simon Healy is going to do that now. We should probably get him on the phone.
So maybe we should we'll do a post with the link.
He's going to be posting it now.
Oh.
He is going to be posting it now.
Okay.
How about we get him on the phone? What do you think? Is that
You
something?
get him on the phone?
Why not? And say, Simon.
Yep.
We have never done something like this.
Yep.
Let's just hope he answers the phone.
Is he going to answer
I don't know. He probably won't answer. He'll probably say it's me.
with expletives?
No. Well, we've got the buzzer. We can beat that out, can't we? We
Hello.
can beat that out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Simon. How are you? You're live on the Hearns live show, mate. Wow. Are you excited?
Stunned silence. You should be.
You were stunned silence. So
No, I was actually in the middle of doing something for work, but anyway.
Well, you have to stop doing that, and you have to put up the post.
Oh, so you need the raffle post posted, do you?
That's right. That's right. We
doing-
are announcing it now.
The
That-
Optima
Oh,
Mid.
you got to count down from 10.
10, 9, 8,
8,
7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2.
1,
It's up. But where is it?
go.
How do we find it?
Slow.
Did you do it? Different time zone. Simon Healy is the president of Kilo Club. So
Is it on the Keilor Facebook?
Sorry?
So
Yeah.
it's just
Yes.
gone live?
It's gone
on
live.
the Keilor Facebook page?
Yes.
Keilor Facebook. Okay. Let me see if I can find a link to that.
So we'll put the link up. There's 100 tickets available. They are $20 a pop. You get PayPal.
Yeah, so what you need to look out for is on the bottom of the actual the text that I've written out, you'll see a Jota form link.
Yes.
You go to the Jota form link and you purchase the ticket numbers you want.
Yep.
Okay.
Except number 1. We can't have number 1 because you probably bought that, didn't you?
I haven't brought any tickets.
You love being number 1, Simon. Don't lie.
I'm trying to understand. I can't work out.
Thank you, Simon. I will let you go. You keep going
you
with
go.
your busy Friday afternoon.
Keilor.
And I look forward to selling all these raffle tickets with you.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Bye-bye.
See you.
See ya.
All right. Let's get the link here.
So that was crazy. And Simon is going to put that on the Hearns
Ultimate
Racing.
Wrestle- Here we go.
There we go. The ultimate raffle. Koisho Optimum Mid. Now, anybody who knows these cars, these are rarer than rare, aren't they?
Rarer than rare. They're pretty rare. This is the one that's the first edition as well. It's got 2 bodies, so you can paint one up as a Turbo Optima.
Yep, 2 bodies. Yeah. So first edition. Yeah, and there's only 100 tickets. There's no limits. There's going to be $20 a ticket. It was too hard to put limits on tickets and everything. And keep in mind that that's not going to be drawn until October 30.
I'm trying to find the link.
That was exciting. Did you expect to get Simon on the phone?
No. Well, I did, but yeah.
No?
Yeah, it was good.
All
right, let me post this up.
If Nick hasn't fallen off his camel, we probably just did, knowing that Simon was going to come on the phone. Hey.
Post a comment.
What are you doing, technical man?
I'm trying to put up this link, and this link doesn't look right. It looks too massive.
Does it?
Does that look right?
I don't know, mate. I
If
can't
anyone
see
could
from here.
try the link and tell me if it works, that would be fantastic.
Well, there'll be no tickets left by the time we finish this show. We'll probably
really?
miss out ourselves.
It could be.
So I went for a run last week.
Did you?
On Saturday.
Around the
It was
tan?
a beautiful around the tan. No, around Kilo.
Oh,
Tan, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a popular running track here in Melbourne.
Yeah, the Botanical
in
Gardens.
the Botanical Gardens. Everybody runs the tan. I don't have sexy enough pants for that.
what do you mean you just need 60 legs?
So I was running the DTM 3.1 on Saturday afternoon. I've got some sweet Pendroids, which have now seen better days. That said they were working really well.
Well,
and
they should
weren't
still
new.
work, yeah?
Yeah, and they weren't new at the start. These
Yep.
were old tyres at the start.
Yep.
The cars had about 5 batteries each. That's a SF2. That's in the new souped up guys now. That's running full modified package. That's got a 5-turn modified motor in it. With sounds comical
Oh, you're an idiot.
and sounds
Does
phenomenal.
it sound like a turbine?
It sounds like an on-road car going down the straight. Yeah. There's a lot of flapping and there's a lot of commotion.
Is
And
there?
it's, yeah.
Was everyone watching?
No, there wasn't many people there,
Oh,
luckily.
okay.
Luckily, it didn't cause too much of a ruckus. And the main thing with having that much power bolted in is when you make a mistake, it punishes you badly.
Yeah.
You know, but luckily I was just practicing. So the older I get, the slower I drive and the faster motor I can put in. That's, you know, because my reflexes are slower. So
It's
I'm
fair,
not,
isn't it?
I'm not really overdriving it.
You've got to overpower it to catch up.
That's right. Got to overdrive. So that's the Yokomo YZ4 SF2. It's been kicking around.
Yep, that's cool.
Nick's very old car.
Yep.
And this is a DTM 3.1. So I was at a
Yep.
Kilo Saturday Arvo
I like the
last
front
week.
wing.
You like the front wing?
Yep.
It's a good little. It still pulls wheel stands. It's got a 7.5 in it.
Does it?
Still pulls wheel stands the length of the straight. If I
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. So these are really cool. Okay, that's Kilo. Now, what else have we been working on?
Well, just checking here. It looks like the link works, so it's good.
It works.
Yes.
It's up.
Yay. So get your tickets. Don't want to miss out on this one.
No, 100 tickets, $20 a ticket.
Yep.
You know, that is fantastic.
Yep.
Another bit of RC that I've been working on. Now, BJ hasn't been here this week, so you've missed part of this.
What's this?
This is a Koisho phaser. And this started life as,
One of these in Camaro.
this is the box for it, yeah. So this is exactly what it started life as.
I remember looking at this. We saw these last week, yeah?
Yeah, so we showed it last week.
Yep.
We've gone ahead now and I've prepped it up ready for racing because we have got the Bendigo Classic coming up on the 16th of October.
Mhm.
We've both paid our memberships and got our
We
entries in.
have. We have.
And this is going to be the Hearns Racing, one of the Hearns racing entries.
Yep.
You can see here I've put a BD Design Hyper HR body on it, a nice modern one.
Yep.
This is what we're going to be painting next week.
Okay, cool.
Not on the show, but we'll do an episode build and a tutorial on painting a Lexan body.
Yep.
Now I've taken a bit of the Koisho stuff out
Back
of
on the
it.
top?
Yeah, why not? And I've put a bit of my own stuff in. So we've put a Futaba receiver in here.
Yep.
So we can zoom right in there and have a look.
Now, the idea of the Kyosho Phaser class is to allow people to get into the racing. It's a very spec type racing,
Very spec.
but you're allowed to change a radio and a few little things.
Can you do the focus for me? It's all gone
What do you
well
mean?
out.
What are you doing?
It's gone out. It's all blurry.
What are you doing, Demi?
I don't
You're
know.
a bit too tight.
Toy like a toiger.
I remember that.
No?
All right.
Gotta-
Yep. So, I mean, just change over to the radio because it's a radio you don't want to use.
Yeah,
right?
so put the 3PV with it.
Yeah.
Again, nothing
It's not.
nothing
It's,
super flash.
yeah. It's not for performance sake.
No,
It's just for
what I know.
Well, that's right. And also, you've got a whole heap of receivers, right? So
That's
you can
right.
use the same transmitter for all your cars.
That's right. So you don't have to turn up. If we're racing like 2 or 3 classes for the day, you don't
Yep.
have 2 or 3 transmitters. You can
Yep.
just run that.
Yep.
And that's not by far an expensive transmitter. I'm more than happy to let anybody drive this car with that transmitter.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
As opposed to the Fancy Pants 10PX, which is
Yes.
a beautiful transmitter.
Yes.
But, you know, when you're holding something that valuable, you'd be a bit reluctant to give it to in case they could drop it or,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Gets
Yes.
knocked off a pit table. So I've put a receiver in there.
Yep.
I've put a basic highest slimline servo.
Yep.
And that's metal gear. I did that because it's got metal gears.
Yeah, it does make it tougher, right?
It's really no faster than the standard servo that comes with it. The servo that came with it had a really nice action.
Yep.
And we can put that on now, actually, if it's not going to shoot off the bench. And that is it. So I'd like to have that in there.
Have what in there?
The little battery thing.
Oh, yeah, it holds it all together.
Yeah,
right?
holds it all together.
There's no chance of this actually
Not
rubbing
really.
against your drive shaft.
No, which is all plastic anyway.
Yep.
So you can see it's not overly fast.
Yep.
You know, it's not a super expensive servo.
Yep.
But it is ball raced.
Yep.
And it is metal geared.
Yep.
It does also have a metal servo horn,
Yep.
which is really nice. And that's it. That's all I've done. So I've
That's
done
what you
that.
need to do, yeah?
And I've done that, and I've tidied up the wiring.
Yep.
And it's as simple as that. And that is race prepared, ready to go. Put some
Yep.
race tires on there.
Yep.
And that is it. This is going to hit the track and go.
So it's a very economical way to start racing. And the cars themselves are really tough. I saw them going around that last time.
Oh, some of the
well,
things with these cars.
they take a beating.
And this motor and this gear, that's what I did. I changed the pinion as well. So it comes with a plastic pinion,
Right.
which is press fit on the motor,
Right.
which I've heard is fine.
Yep.
But I've seen what these cars go through. For the
Yep.
sake of $6 for an Aeromax alloy pinion,
Might as well put it on because then you reduce the wear on your spur gear as well.
that's right. And hopefully just reliability.
Yeah.
Because I imagine if you had a big shunt, the plastic one would either crack or come off, or
Yep.
you know what I mean? 'Cause it's just a press fit on.
Yep.
And these motors actually rip. These 14 singles, 550 motor,
Yep.
actually rip, don't they? They go
They got
really
a bit of
fast.
power there for sure.
So I didn't change the number of teeth on the pinion.
Yep.
It's a standard 32 tooth.
Yep.
Put a bit of this battery foam there so I can
Yep.
move around the battery, and that is
Yep.
it. We've got a 9-step stick pack.
Yep.
Mate, that is racing.
It's good, isn't it?
It is really, really good.
neat.
A really neat, really cool little car. I'm really looking forward to it. Really
Yeah, it's
looking
good.
forward to battling it out. I think I'm going to have a good tussle. One of the fast guys up there, his name's Jeff.
Yeah.
He's an avid watcher of this show. And we're going to tussle it out on the track. Jeff is not going to stand a chance.
No chance?
No chance.
No chance.
And we're trying to get you one. We're trying to get one borrowed for you. So
Oh
that
yeah.
you can,
Well,
you
we'll
can
see.
run
We'll
one as
see.
well.
If one turns up, I'll be happy to run it.
Fantastic. So that is RC this week.
Okay. What shall we do now? Shall we look at the layout and what stage it's at?
Let's get Marlon back on. Let's
It's
get
a
Marlon
layout,
back
which
on.
is how long have we been doing the layout? Has it been 4? Is this the 4th one? It's the 4th show, yeah. Because the
Mate.
first one, it didn't look like much.
Welcome back, Marlon.
Welcome to be back. Yeah.
Look at it now.
What are we looking at?
Well, it's got lots of greenery and it's got water.
Shrubbery.
So we go from the top.
Go from the top. And that's not real water, by the way. You can't
What do you
swim in
mean?
it. And there's no koi.
I'm sorry to say there's no koi.
There's no koi.
Couldn't find koi. Tried.
Yep.
No
Upset about
koi,
that?
no koi, no cut, but there's driftwood. Like you put driftwood in here,
Yeah.
but there's no koi. I like the level of detail, but there's no fish.
I like all your dandelions, mate.
Why, thank you. I thought that they would add. And the other thing I asked for that's not done yet, I asked for a lavender bush.
A what?
Lavender bush.
I heard you the first time.
Ah,
There are like some small purple flowers in there. They're very. It's a subtle touch,
Are they?
but there are.
and
there are
a
indeed-
truffle pig.
Oh, you'll have to work on the truffle pig part, I think.
I was going to be walking around for a while because I don't think there's any truffles here.
You never know.
I'm not going to leave truffles in there. We would eat them.
Would I be right in saying that this is effectively a finished layout? If there ever is such a thing.
I'm calling it done, and we couldn't have done it without you, Marlon.
It's
It's a
fantastic.
bit of a team effort, but thanks very much.
I think it looks really good.
And this layout is gonna be part of the furniture here at Hearns. What are you doing?
Look at it. Look how well everything's glued down. Nothing
my
fell
God.
off that
Look at it.
time.
You cannot hold it up sideways, mate.
What do you mean? Are you worried? I'm just showing all the angles.
you're an
Looks
animal.
Fantastic. There you go. All right. Let's flat again. All right.
Oh my lord.
All right.
So we've got our little water mill
Yes,
with,
dress monkey.
got all of our water in there. So we used an awful lot of Green Stuff World's UV curing resin, which
How
is
good was
like
it?
it's like black magic. That stuff, it's incredible.
Now
Like,
we tried it last week on the show, didn't we? We
We
made
did.
a little dam,
Yep.
and we put this other product in there.
Yep.
Yep.
But we weren't overly happy with it. It looked like moving water.
Yeah.
We said like it was like whitish.
it was cloudy. It didn't dry completely clear for whatever reason. Maybe our pores were too deep.
Yep.
We don't know, but because we had so much fun playing with the UV curing resin,
Yeah. You went mad
couldn't resist the temptation.
And UV resin just sits straight away, right?
Yeah.
So
with
quick.
your torch. So you need new batteries for your torch.
You've
You know?
been using it at night.
Yeah,
You've
we
been
were,
shining everything.
yeah, we shined everything with it. Like you said, it's black magic.
And you had a very strong specific request for lots of dandelions.
We got dandelions, and it looks very much like I imagine the
Why
Cotswolds.
do you like dandelions so much?
I don't know. They
Is it
just
something
like
that you just
they're just
yeah.
a nice yellow flower, dandelions.
Okay.
No, because I know it's time to mow the lawn when the dandelions is looking at you.
Oh, is it?
That's
Oh.
it.
No, what do you have dandelions? at
I
home?
do. I do because I love mowing the lawn, and that's one of the things I don't like about winter is there's not enough time in the evenings during the week to mow the lawn. But there's always like one or two that stick up, and I
That's
always
right.
go over and kick them. I always kick them out of the lawn.
That's
Right.
right.
I don't
But-
have any dandelions.
Yeah.
No,
No.
I'll buy you some for your balcony.
Thank you.
Koo will love it.
Oh.
Oh, let's go. Let's put a train on it.
Oh, you want to run something?
Oh, we're gonna-
Let's
Oh,
go. Well, we've
you
got
plugged
wires.
it
We've
in
got,
and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
we're
prepared.
not here for a long time. We're here for a good time.
We've
That's
spent
it.
so much time with that little Pico Loco. I thought we'd do something a bit different.
We're gonna give the little Pico
We've got
Broco
a,
a break.
Loco Broco.
Okay, Broco.
It's hard to say, I guess, but it's a mini trains 040 couple. So it's a little
A
quite
what?
a
Oh,
couple.
oh, couple.
couple. So
That's one.
it's a very
not a couple.
couple, but it's a very distinctively German locomotive going through the English countryside. So
They've made a lot of stuff,
Don't
didn't they?
mention the war.
alternate reality where Germany won.
And there might be
Oh,
time
yeah.
to announce now that this is going to be Marlon's last live with us.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
Okay,
Sad, isn't it?
it's very sad, and he's leaving us with the parting ways with a gift.
Yes.
Aren't
That's
we?
it.
So this will be here forever
In
You know?
theory.
until Marlon comes back and fixes it.
If I come back and it's not it's not in the cabinet and not in tip-top shape, but this was something that we've wanted to put into the cabinet for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was great to have the opportunity to do it, and not just do it, but be able to share the whole process.
And it's taken you about 3.5 years to do it.
It has, in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, but 95% of the work happened in the last month.
In the last month,
And we'll put these carriages on, and it should be
I
up.
love this.
Clean
Are
the
they
track.
called slate
Slate. Yeah, I'll
What
show
are
them
they
if you haven't
called?
seen them. They're slate wagons.
slate wagons?
So they're a Bachmann product. They're narrow gauge little wagons. They're very small, and they actually have a cast resin of neatly arranged slabs of slate,
Which is scale weight as well.
which feels like it would be.
Yeah, it is. I
Yeah.
measured it. It's exactly scale weight.
It probably weighs
It's
as much.
scale 16.3 tons
You did not.
imperial.
I would be very
But
impressed
they're
if
not,
that's true.
they're not metric tons.
So let's put it on. Let's give this a go. Do you think the loco will handle that kind of weight?
All right, what are we doing? Am I allowed to drive
Yep,
again?
You are. I'm not sure which direction you'll be heading
All right,
in, but I'm
let's-
sure you'll
let's-
figure that out.
Oh,
It'd be really good if that loco had a light.
Oh.
Try going front ways, mate. No.
Maybe you need a helping hand. There you
oh,
go.
there you go. I need to run in a little bit, eh?
I've run this loco before and I love it because the little rods on the side, they work really, really hard, don't they?
They do.
Because it's got really small wheels. It looks like it's running, doesn't it?
It does,
Looks
yeah.
like it's in a hurry.
Like you wouldn't want to get like any appendages in there at all. You
No.
wouldn't have them left.
None
Is it
appendages
right?
whatsoever. So I christened the
Oh,
Marlin.
maybe. There you go. You can see him going.
What are we seeing? What are you looking
calling
at?
me again? The valve gear.
The valve
That's
gear
it.
of what?
Valve gear, side rods and valve gear.
There we go. So you can see it moving. How good is it?
That's like a scale of realistic speed. There you go. That's satisfying.
It's not.
Not for him.
Not even
I'll
close.
probably make it go a little faster. There you go.
No, that looks too busy. That's a scale. That's a scale 184 miles.
There you go. That's good.
It's a good look.
That
Look how
works.
good the little rail track runs. 009 scale. That's going to be in the cabinet here at Hearns.
Fantastic.
I
Love it.
can't promise that it's going to have a loco going around at 24/7, but I think on special occasions we'll get a loco on it, and
For sure.
you know, if we put a loco on there 24/7, we'll probably have a cabinet full of broken locos. No,
Well, they do have a finite
Reflection.
that's
lifespan.
right.
They do have a finite lifespan. Maybe you'll have the occasional sacrificial locomotive, but you're right. I think
Nobody plays with trains like I play with trains.
no, that's exactly right. You know what? You couldn't have said it better. Could not have said it better.
You
But
treat them hard, don't you?
Yeah. So I hope you guys really like our layout. I think Marlon, I learned a lot. We actually didn't put a great deal of time in it. A little bits and pieces have happened off camera,
Yep.
Which has been all Marlon's doing. But the stuff that we did on air, it came together really well, didn't
it
it?
certainly did.
Considering it started with a blue piece of foam with some track glued on it.
Yeah.
You know, we've done really well. I think you should be really happy, Marlon.
Absolutely.
And it's a pleasure to have this living on. It's going to be here in 75 years, I want to say.
For sure. 150th anniversary.
There'll be a busted frog in it and some comical cars with all cracked and perished tires. And this will be the only thing that works.
How good is it?
No, that is
Really nice.
That is fantastic.
Just gotta make sure to keep those rails clean and you're set.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Not a lot of track to clean.
This inspired me to start on my layout.
You've been working on a bicycle. You've
Yeah,
been doing
that's
it
going
wrong.
to be on my layout. It's going to be a bit bigger than this.
Of course
I'm going
it
to have
is.
a couple of bicycles going around. And
Are you?
It's gonna be great to have more than just a train moving. Having
I'm going to try and have it all fully automated with Arduino. So slow down, speed up, stop. So it's all random. It'll look natural.
that would be cool. This is as basic electronically as possible.
Yes. So
Which
it's just
is
going at
great.
one speed.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
You? Yeah.
It would be better if we just didn't even have a dial on it. If it just went,
Just
Random
goes,
you know,
speed.
because if you turn it up to 100, you know, rods fall off, globes blow,
Yeah.
things go wrong.
They do. I chose a very robust one that didn't have any of those features exactly for that reason.
Fantastic. Well,
How good is
it's
it?
been a pleasure, Marlon.
Certainly.
And I hope
Really
you've
good.
enjoyed not only making this layout, but yeah, your time at Hearns has been wonderful.
Absolutely. And all of the times that I've been able to involve myself with the live and showing you product and have a chat with everybody on here, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's been great.
Um,
And you're really educational. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I have too. And I've really more than anything, I've really enjoyed myself in my time here. So
Right.
That's
thank you very much,
fantastic.
guys, and also thank you guys out there very much as well. So on that note,
On that note,
I'll leave you guys
thank
with-
you very
with
much.
the parting gift.
Thank you.
very much.
Thanks, Marlon.
See ya.
Thank you, Marlon.
Yeah. Can I turn up to 120 now?
No,
Oh,
he'll hear it. He can hear it from the other room, I swear. He
Oh,
comes
okay.
running and he glares at you.
oh yes. All right. So we haven't got any more takers on the car.
Can I put
no.
it? Look at this.
What are we looking at?
That looks pretty good.
Like that?
How have we got no takers on the car?
There's no takers on the car.
I'm not sure how long the show's been going for today, but I'm tipping we're not going to get
It's
time.
an hour and 15 so far.
So we're probably not going to get time to look at the big stack of models, are we?
Well, we can just quickly look at them.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we've got some plastic model kits come in.
We've got
Some of these are not new, although I think this one's new. This is part of the Bandai 30-minute Sisters range.
one of
What is
Nick's,
this?
one of Nick's favourites. That one,
Alka Kati
Alka
quartet form.
Quartet form.
So she's got lots of guns and bits and
Guns and bits.
guns and bits. Okay, so 30-minute Sisters. And then we've got a whole lot of re-releases from the Iron-Blooded Orphans. So these are, well, that's,
Iron-blooded orphans.
so that's from a particular series of Gundam. And all the Gundam look very, very different to all the other series. They have a particular aesthetic to them.
We need to get Simon in here to talk about these.
Yeah.
He would love these.
Okay, so there's a Barbatos. And then you've got, I've got one of these that I'm building at the moment.
Have you?
Yeah, I started like 3 years ago.
Is it challenging?
No.
I love the blue on the box and stuff. No, they really give them.
Oh, well, this sort of glows, isn't it?
I
There's
love
a
that
cushion.
thing that you posted yesterday with the gun, the pink gun thing.
Oh, the glowing.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you need a real artist's eye to
that
think
was
that through because you got bounce light.
that was phenomenal.
I like that.
Yeah,
You should try it.
I want to bounce light.
All right, so the Gushin's pretty cool.
A cushion?
Yep. And what's this thing?
Mm,
This is a Gushin rebate. So what happens is
what?
this gets damaged and they repair it and it looks like that.
a rebake.
It's been rebaked.
You cannot rebake. You cannot rebake anything. Oh, here we go. This feels
And this
nice.
is brand new. So this is from Copper State Models, and it's a World War One cauldron. the G3.
And it's brand new.
Yeah, super nice kits. So Copper State models, they specialize in World War I aircraft and
What
also
scale is
armor. That's 32nd scale. It's big.
32nd scale, so it's quite big.
Yep.
What would the wingspan be on this? Am I putting you on the spot?
You put me on the spot.
400?
Oh, I don't think it'll be that. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look at this one. These boxes are normally pretty tight.
Tight like a tiger. Oh, double box.
Yeah. Oh, they got really nice manuals.
Emmanuel,
Yep. Let's look for the wings.
wings and things.
All right, so the wings are in multiple parts. There's a center section. And then you've got the ends. So, yeah, it could be 40.
Yeah,
Close to 40.
I know my scale, mate.
You do, don't you? That's pretty big.
It's going to be 40 to 45 centimeters wingspan.
Yep.
So that's quite a large model.
Super nice.
And it's got lots of big pieces. That looks great.
And if you string it, then it'll look absolutely fantastic. So you need to get that the easy line.
If I
Got all the stringing here on the wings.
would you put spokes on the wheels for me?
Spokes on these wheels, they don't have spokes.
Well,
In that case, I would.
I want one with spokes.
So the boxing is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, this is
Super tough.
What
Because
is
they come from far away.
the box is tough.
These boxes come from Latvia.
How do you know that?
Because that's where they come from. Yep.
Latvian boxes. I've heard
That's
about
it.
their boxes.
Yep.
What else
Can't
have we
keep
got?
a straight face. And then this, I don't know if this is new, but I mean the B29 from Academy's been around. This particular version is the old Battler.
The old battler.
Battler. So if you know about B29s, B29s dropped the atomic bombs on Japan. So these were very late in the war, super massive bombers.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a good thing that they're known for dropping the atomic bombs, but they did it twice.
War's not pleasant for anybody. Let's be
No,
honest.
no, and particularly that kind of
Warfare.
Yeah.
But people do love them. There's so much military gear here. People love building models of it, don't they?
Well, I think
Absolutely
it's
love it.
the people that like to build this, myself included. It's more about the history and the thought behind designing these weapons. It's not about glorifying war.
No.
It's just about these were used and that people actually came up with these ideas.
And we have a lot of the generations now. They want to build it because that's what their granddad did.
That's
they want to
right.
build that tank because that's what their granddad drove or
Yes.
whatever. You know what I mean? They've
Yeah, that's
learned
right.
that. So, and when you build a model like this, you get more and you learn a lot about the content itself.
That's right.
So
Yep.
you'll know about the instruments and the gauges and
Yep.
what series the seatbelts were. And
Yeah, and the
You know what I
reasoning behind the design of this and why they used them.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, really cool kits.
There you
I
go.
love it.
That's it.
I think that's it for the day. We've got heaps more to talk about, but we won't.
We should tell everyone what the car is. Hey, you reckon?
What about?
Oh,
Oh, look!
I've wrecked it.
Don't show Marlon.
I've wrecked it.
He's been gone 3 minutes, mate. It's meant to last a lifetime.
I think he's far enough that he can't see.
You can smell.
There you
it.
go. It's back. What is it? From top?
A General Motors car.
General Motors.
Yep. Chevrolet Camaro. Z28,
The Z28.
because that is,
The special version.
well, it's a version. And I think it wasn't synonymous with this model. And the years that this one ran, and I'm happy to be corrected, is 78 to 81 for this car. And this is a Scarlet Trickster car.
Yes, brand new release.
Yep, brand new release, 1/32 scale.
Yep.
And it's really cool. Like, it's not super complicated, but if you had a set, this is a car that you'd be happy to run because bits aren't going to fall off of it and everything.
That's right. It doesn't have all those.
It's got all the drive.
bits.
It's got a really cool driver figure. Looks much like you, actually.
I mean, it looks like
Yeah,
Starsky.
it looks like you driving your Polo up the street. That's what you look like when you drive up Elizabeth Street in a
Cruising on
Polo.
a Polo like
That's right. It's got more hubcaps than your car. No, it's really
has.
cool. So this is a Chev Camaro Z28.
Cool.
Yeah. And
That's
the
it,
coolest thing today, I think, was that.
Yes.
The rail layout. That was really, really cool. It's finally come to a chapter.
I learned a lot with it too. 'Cause
I did.
most of the time, you learn the most when you actually play with the elements.
Absolutely. You know, and that's why I've learned so much of RC. It's because I've been racing it, you know, on and off for the last 30 years. So,
Yeah.
you get to know the stuff pretty well. And the same as Marlon knows his train stuff. And he made that look really easy. And I'm sure that, you know, some of the stuff that we were doing was quite, I want to say advanced. Like, but he just made it easy. The static grass and, you know, that was really cool. And that UV resin that we used for the water, that was probably one of the best things. It was one of the easiest things. Just squared it in there with the torch. And it looked really good. Marlon actually put some PVA or something over the top because he thought it looked too shiny. It looked too glossy for him. So, and the first incarnation of the dandelions was actually foam from a sponge. He had an orange sponge and he picked it off. And it actually looked really good, but when you put it on the green, it actually washed out a bit.
I did it.
So that's when we got the purpose made yellow shrubbery. So a few steps that he learned along the way. I wonder how many tickets are left in that raffle.
Probably none. Hopefully none.
100 tickets. We're going to wind up this show so I can go buy some tickets.
All right. So make sure you click on the link to get some of those tickets. 100 tickets only, wasn't it? $20
100
a
tickets
ticket.
only.
And you have the chance of winning a Kyosho Optimum Mid.
And that's probably the only one on the market in Australia. It's only going to cost you $20. Well, you chance to have it for $20. And all the proceeds are going to go to the club and the infrastructure down there and making the track and the facilities really nice.
That's right. And it's going to be drawn on the
race
vintage.
day. Yeah, the Vintage Bash race day. So that will be
October.
the 30th of October, I want to say. I might have my last Sunday in October.
Cool. Excellent. Well, there you go. There's another show.
There is another show. That is show 115. And we're really struggling to keep it under an hour. I can't figure why.
I've always got so much stuff to show. And shenanigans, like when you're taking apart an airbrush, and doesn't always work out. But it was all learning.
It is learning, and it's all fun.
It is.
All right, guys.
Thanks again.
We are Hearns Hobbies, and thank you for watching.
See you next time round. Bye.
Bye-bye.